So welcome back. The Second World War was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945. In World War II, United States dropped 2 atomic bombs in Japan. The first atomic bomb was dropped on August 6 in the Hiroshima and the second on August 9 in the Nagasaki city of Japan. World War II was by far the deadliest conflict in our history, resulting in an estimated 70 to 85 million fatalities, mostly among civilians, and this was because it was the first time that a nuclear weapon was used in a war. By using atomic bombs in the war, United States won the World War, and one of the major contributors for this victory were their nuclear scientists. And among those scientists, there was one genius whose role can't be ignored in the human history. The scientist was Julius Robert Oppenheimer. So I welcome you to this captivating exploration of the life and legacy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, a man whose brilliance and complexity defined the atomic age, a scientist who harnessed the nuclear power of atoms and made the nuclear bomb possible for humans. Physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer led the Manhattan Project to develop nuclear weapons during World War II and is perhaps best known as the father of atomic bomb. But he was a complicated man. Julius Robert Oppenheimer was born into a Jewish family in New York City on April 22, 1904 to Ella Nee Friedman, a painter, and Julius Ligman Oppenheimer, a wealthy textile importer. Even as a child, Oppenheimer displayed an insatiable thirst for knowledge, excelling in mathematics, literature, and philosophy. Oppenheimer was initially educated at Alcuin Preparatory School, and in 1911 he entered the Ethical Culture Society School. He graduated in 1921 and entered Harvard College 1 year later. At age 18, because he suffered an attack of colitis while prospecting in geochemistry during a family summer vacation in Europe. To help him recover from this illness, his father enlisted the help of his English teacher, Herbert Smith, who took him to New Mexico, where Oppenheimer fell in love with horseback riding and the southwestern United States. After graduating from Harvard and embarking on an intellectual odyssey through Europe, Oppenheimer discovered his true passion: theoretical physics. Oppenheimer was a tall, thin chain smoker who often neglected to eat during periods of intense thought and concentration. Many of his friends said that he had self-destructive tendencies. A disturbing event occurred when he took a vacation from his studies in Cambridge to meet up with Ferguson in Paris. Ferguson noticed that Oppenheimer was not well. So, to help Oppenheimer from his depression, Ferguson told Oppenheimer that he was to marry his girlfriend, Frances Kelly. Oppenheimer did not take the news well. He jumped on Ferguson and tried to strangle him. Although Ferguson easily fended off the attack, the episode convinced him of Oppenheimer's deep psychological troubles. Throughout his life, Oppenheimer was plagued by periods of depression, and he once told his brother, "I need physics more than friends." His brilliance quickly established him as a prominent figure in the academic world. But destiny had a different plan for Oppenheimer. As the world plunged into the darkness of war, science was harnessed for a fateful purpose. On October 9, 1941, 2 months before the United States entered into World War, President Franklin D. Roosevelt approved a crash program to develop an atomic bomb. In May 1942, National Defense Research Committee Chairman James P. Conant, who had been one of Oppenheimer's lecturers at Harvard, invited him to take over work on fast neutron calculations, a task Oppenheimer threw himself into the full vigor. He was given the title Coordinator of Rapid Rupture. One of his first acts was to host a summer school for bomb theory at his building in Berkeley. Finally, in June 1942, the US Army established the Manhattan Engineer District to handle its part in the atom bomb project, beginning the process of transferring responsibility from the Office of Scientific Research and Development to the military. In September, Groves was appointed as the director of the Manhattan Project. Appointed as a scientific director of the Manhattan Project, Oppenheimer embarked on the remarkable and daunting mission to unlock the destructive power of the atom. In the arid deserts of New Mexico, his team toiled tirelessly, driven by urgency of their task. Oppenheimer's leadership and scientific expertise were instrumental in the success of the project. He was among those who observed the Trinity test on July 16, 1945, in which the first atomic bomb was successfully detonated. He later remarked that the explosion brought to his mind words from the Hindu scripture Bhagavad Gita. The words were, "Now I have become death, the destroyer of words." Oppenheimer's haunting words captured the weight of his creation and the sobering reality of the atomic bomb. It was a moment that would haunt him for the rest of his life. In August 1945, the atomic bombs were used in the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This was the story of Oppenheimer during the World War. But what after World War II? After the World War II, Oppenheimer turned his focus to preventing nuclear proliferation and promoting peace. He became a vocal proponent of international cooperation and worked tirelessly to foster dialogue and disarmament. However, Oppenheimer's political beliefs and association would eventually lead to his own downfall. In the turbulent years of the Cold War, he faced accusations and scrutiny from his own government. Despite his immense contributions, he became a casualty of the political climate, forever scared by the very weapon he helped create. Oppenheimer was a chain smoker who was diagnosed with throat cancer in late 1965. After inconclusive surgery in late 1966, he underwent unsuccessful radiation treatment and chemotherapy. Finally, he fell into a coma on February 15, 1967, and at the age of 62, February 18, he died at his home in Princeton, New Jersey. Oppenheimer's achievements in physics include the Born-Oppenheimer approximation for molecular wave function, work on the theory of electrons and positrons, the Oppenheimer-Phillips process in nuclear fusion, and the first prediction of quantum tunneling. With his students, he also made important contributions to the modern theory of neutron stars, black holes, as well as quantum mechanics, quantum field theory, and the interactions of cosmic rays. Robert Oppenheimer, a man of immense intellect and moral introspection, shaped the course of history with his scientific achievements. Yet his journey serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring consequences and ethical dilemmas brought forth by the atomic age. As a teacher and a promoter of science, he is remembered as a founding father of the American School of Theoretical Physics that gained world prominence in the 1930s. So I heartfully thank you for joining me on this exploration of Oppenheimer's life. May his legacy continue to inspire and guide us in navigating the complexities of science and its impact on humanity.